So today is September 13th, 2022. And this is the I Am Collective Love Frequency Collaborative. We are all well met. And so we're gonna, hold space for, a few more people to come in. However, I just wanted to speak to, so it's weird, like people keep shifting on my screen and I'm not sure who I'm. All right, I'm just gonna let that go. So there's a couple of things. So there's a lot of energy moving right now, and I know we're all feeling it. So it felt like we were going to talk about the 13 today, but it feels like it might be more impactful for us to speak to the energy that we're all navigating right now. I also, there's a couple of messages that have come in the last like 2-3 days as I'm part of this online intensive. And one is the time of like hiding who we really are is done. Like hiding that we're multidimensional star beings, however you refer to yourself, like that's done, right? Like the world needs us to show up this way because there are others who are feeling like they can't be themselves and they can't show up, and that they're alone, or they're like not going to be heard, that they're not safe, whatever that is. Like that's done, right? Like we know we know we are so divinely protected and directed always, right? Like when we're connected to our higher self and source energy, like there is no missteps. And so that came up for me really strongly yesterday, and I went live on my Facebook page talking about the healing that I did for Jamie at the last day of the Wild Emergence, where I called in all the archangels and dragons and like all that. And I talked about that on my personal Facebook page. And so that's the first thing. And then I got a message as well that a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you guys remember, I called into this online radio show, Mystic Radio, and I was calling to ask about my cat, Whiskey. And thank you, Laura. Yeah, it was, right? And yeah, and so I saw that, like, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff. And what we're doing here is like of equal quality, or is like, I'm not going to have the right words for it because it's not like it's a competition or there's any like measurement level of it. And what we do here has been as impactful as the videos that I'm watching. And what we're doing here in these videos are not widespread. Like there's a very small audience for them. So I'm looking to change that. I'm looking to shift that. And I don't know what that looks like. And but the message was very clear. People need to hear what we've been doing here. So that's all for me. We have some new guests today. So I would love for you to briefly just introduce yourself. If you want to say like one or two things of like messages that have been coming in, or what are you navigating, or what is the collective that is in your immediate radius? Like what are people dealing with that we might be able to shift or transmute or impact that energy today? So I'm going to start with you, Vicky, because you specifically reached out. But I request that you try and keep it as concise as possible.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Can you hear? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can hear you fine.
Well,
I want you to take it easy, okay?
thank you. So, yes, I'm Vicky Samoya. I was in Seattle for a couple different times, most recently from 2018 until 2020 and the pandemic. But I then went to Hawaii, came back to Seattle for a short time now. I'm in Florida, my mother, elderly
Can I heat
mom.
this up for you?
So I live with
Yeah, I'm gonna heat it up for you.
her.
It's all right, hang on. There we go. I was like, who's go ahead, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, just to kind of catch everyone, because I know we've been not in contact for a little while. So since I left Seattle in the spring, I've been with my mom here in Florida, and I'm caretaking her. She had major health issues that we dealt with over the summer in and out of the hospital. I was very, very focused on her while I was processing a lot of energy. And then as things progressed, and I realized I'm going to be here, and kind of actually we're really just stuck in this situation.
Yeah.
And the
So
stuck.
Vicky, I'm sorry, I want to pause you for 1 second because it's 11:11. So I just want there's new people, so I just want to do the incantation for that I do at 11:11. So we surrender. We surrender to the highest good. We surrender to our highest good. We surrender and allow God, Goddess, all that is to speak through us. We ask that all that is not love fall away, and only that which is for our highest good and our highest evolution and highest timeline be made manifest. We ask all God, I have so much energy rushing through me right now. It's really interesting. We ask that only that which is for our highest good and our highest evolution be made manifest. Please put that which is for our highest evolution directly in our path. Thank you, universe. We surrender. Thank you, universe. We surrender everything. Thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We surrender. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Sorry to interrupt. And I'm not sorry to interrupt. That's something else. So I'm taking sorry out of it. This came up earlier in John's breathwork call, is that how often do we say sorry for like being moved by something, for emoting, for showing, like pushing through being uncomfortable with something, and someone's witnessing our discomfort and we apologize for it. Done. No mas. Right? So like that's something that I'm going to really be moving forward. I'm going to really be listening for, is when people apologize. And I've been doing that when people express grief in front of me or around me, because that's the space I am, is I give people permission to grieve, is when people apologize for mostly tears, but just apologize for emoting and having strong feelings. So that's changing. That's shifting as of today.
That's so perfect. That's exactly where I was going.
Okay, good. So I'm asking you again, and for the essence of time, like, can you, how can we, what are you looking to shift, and how can we be of service to you?
I know that the universe is bringing me everything I need and showing me very clearly the decisions I need to make. And it, more than anything, it's just having the absolute and total complete balls to take that message and check off all the other things that are the opposite, right? And just cross them out, and really only just, it's like such a big shift that there's like nervous systems issues that are like buckling down. There are times where I'm completely on the floor and throwing up almost, because, you know, in the way that I wasn't seen when I was younger, like as a child, and now I'm living with the person who doesn't see me in that way, and being but now having to completely go down to the very bottom and really remake how I speak, who I am, what I want to show the world from point zero. And I didn't really ever know I was going to have to go, and I wouldn't be going this far if I wasn't kind of stuck in this situation. So it's the most beautiful and perfect thing Spirit could be bringing me. So I want to say thank you, and thank you for container and support. And I think any ways and any of us that know we have work to do in the world that isn't for others, that doesn't make sense. Like I just turned down a job, which is why I broke down and had sort of I turned down a job for a lot of money that was not aligned at all to my values, and we're really broke. So I was like, no, this is why it's happening. So I'm choosing that which is most in my heart.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm jumping off the cliff, and I just want to, like you are doing, and I'm so thrilled to hear everything. And right where you are, it feels like this is totally it. We're done with hiding and we're jumping, and we're going.
Yes.
So for letting me say that and express love that you're all here, and thank you for seeing me, and namaste to every soul.
And to you. Awesome. So that's perfect what you said. And I feel like the work that we're going to do in this second half will address some of that. So John, are you able to come off mute? John, are you able to come off mute? Okay. Oh, there we go. No. Okay, Laura, are you able to come off mute?
Yes.
So give us a little quickie introduction to yourself, and something you've been dealing with, or something you feel like the collective has been dealing with.
Okay. I'm Laura Leanna. It's good to see faces that I know and love dearly. Hi. Okay. What else? Oh, what have I been dealing with? How big do you want me to go? Like, I'm like,
Well, you only have like a minute or two, but here's the thing is that very often, if one of us is dealing with something in this group, then the collective is dealing with it.
okay.
So there might be an energetic thread that comes through with what people are sharing, or sometimes it's just one person and they're the proxy for that energy for the collective. So
All right. So, I know that I'm going to talk human design because it's kind of how I know to talk. So we're all going through the gate of crisis right now, right? And this gate of crisis is to get us on the right track, right? It's like to create a change, and it's like holding this positive, beautiful, like what you want to create with the crisis, right? So there was a crisis that came up, and it's I don't communicate with my dad, my child's father. We don't have a communication in the last 5 years, which how do you even do that? I don't know how we've managed. But it's happened, and now my daughter's in crisis. And so it's like now almost forcing him and I to be in communication, right? And so that's kind of what I've been going through, is shifting some. I don't have the answers, right? But I know like a little bit of the crisis has kind of settled, and now we've got, all the muck is gone. So now we've got this core issue, right? This core crisis, and figuring out how to communicate and be heard without all that, like, all that. Yeah, that makes sense. Is that what you're wanting?
Yeah, sure. So like the the summary of that would be in moments of crisis, with a commitment to like transform or transmute it, it's like how do we communicate with people where there's like so much like unhealed or unloved, like operating from the places that are unloved to come together to try and create love. and that you know, expressing, not knowing how to express love and have your needs met
And be heard.
and be heard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did I recreate that? Okay,
Yeah.
good. So welcome, Brittany, by the way. I just wanted to acknowledge that I see your little phone icon there, and I'm happy that you're here as always. Anything else, Laura?
I feel complete.
Okay, great. Thank you. So Milena, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining the call today. And I know that you're like, you're deeply in touch with all of the energy that's shifting. Is there anything that you want to speak to as far as, like, again, this got created and we were going to talk more about that, the 12 skills or gifts of light worker, and when the 12 come together, it creates the 13. And we've been doing this for about a little over a year. And we came to understand that we could do things in this container with the intention of, this is being done for the collective, that I'm doing this on myself, tuning forks on myself or whatever, to benefit the I am. And so so I feel like, you know, there's no accident or coincidence or anything that you happen to be in this room today. So I would love to hear what you've personally been dealing with, or like how the messages that have been coming in for you feed to this conversation or container.
Yeah, so it's been really, really, really strong lately. But one of the biggest things that is, well, gosh, so many are big. I don't even want to say that. One of the many messages that's coming through is like, some people have been here at this bus stop for what seems like forever, waiting for the bus to show up. Some people have just arrived, you know, and we think that once the bus gets here, we're all just going to jump on and off we go. But no, because that bus can only carry so much weight and so much baggage. So it's like, now we're at the checkpoint of what needs to be cut, what needs to be stripped, what needs to be let go of to actually get us light enough to get onto this bus. And what is the answer to that? That's a hard answer for some people. But the truest answer that I'm receiving is like, when we are in these situations and there is negativity all around us, you have to just stay true to your essence. You know, you can't lower yourself to meet people where they're at. So if you are one-on-one with someone and they are just not hearing it, not seeing it, not wanting to be a part of it, that's okay. That is 100% okay. You just stay where you're at. And in those moments, just go inside, go in your heart, go in your places, go in your spaces, and emanate from the inside out. And if those people are not there to receive you, then it's time to walk away. You don't have to give and you don't have to serve anymore. You know, the collective is collected. We are here. So we are not really out to serve others at this point.
Yeah.
We are here to serve us as the collective.
Mm.
We are here to raise each other up. We are here for the people that have shown up at that bus stop. And we are here to help them lighten that baggage and get on that bus. Here is your golden ticket and let's ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's so beautiful, because so much of what you said, we've come to in this, on this call, like in
Mhm.
past recordings of like, it's no longer the time to convince people. Like, people have made their choice at this point. And that we, you know, what there is for us to do is not do, but be. There's nowhere to do, there's nowhere to go, and everywhere to be. And something you said brought up for me. So, you know, there have been times when we have, how do I, like, I want to say what wants to come out is like done battle, but like I don't want to refer to it as a battle anymore. Is we've come up against lower vibrational energy, and some of it is really strong. And they're, like Laura was sharing, like they're so A Course in Miracles states that anything that is not love is a call for love. And as a light worker, though I don't tend to use the word light worker that much anymore because it feels like there's a label to it, but I do work with light energy and consider myself like a beacon of light. And there are some people who the light is too bright and they're not ready to, like, they can't, it either like it blinds them. And so we have come up against lower vibrational energy where what's made the difference is doing Ho'oponopono, like understanding we all come from light. Even the darkest energies come from light. And even like the saying I have, the kind of joke I have is even Darth Vader had a spark of light within. So many have the darkness, the lower vibration has almost suffocated the light, but there's still the pilot light lit. And so it's being able to offer Ho'oponopono, offer our love anyway. Because they agreed the same way we had a soul contract, they chose to incarnate now the same way we chose to incarnate now. Like Laura, your ex chose to incarnate now for whatever this lesson is, right? And he agreed to be this, like, I know, he agreed to be this whatever to you, you know? And really, I have goosebumps saying it because it's like, if we can start to energetically embrace that these dark energies agreed to be this dark energy so that we could step more into our light, that they have so much love for us. This is a hard one to kind of wrap our human mind around, right? But they have so much love for us that when we were creating our soul contracts, they said, I'm going to be this evil fucker to you so that you can learn unconditional love. I'm going to be this like nasty whatever to you so that you can clean whatever that is and ascend.
Yeah, so that we can shine even brighter.
Yes, I have goosebumps all over saying this. Like forgiveness for sure, Laura. Forgiveness across the board is the like it's all for lifetimes ancestrally, like forgive it, it's done. Like this was something that came to me yesterday, was like I was all upset on Sunday about something that happened within the container. And I was ready to show up to my coaching call on Monday with John and be like, oh, look, this trigger, and like to go into the whole story of it. And then he, you know, in his brilliance, like guided me to go within. And then we kind of had this creative conversation. And I was like, yeah, why would I bring up that stuff from yesterday? That's done. It's done. Like ancient Rome yesterday, same thing. It's done. And the only time it's in the present moment is when we bring it into the present moment. We talk about it. We like process it. We're like, oh, I'm still in it. Now I'm not ready to give this energy up. You know, I don't wanna, you know, like that. We're the ones who bring it now. Otherwise it has no power. So, dude, preach. Ooh, sometimes that happens. Hi, John. Nice to see you. So I would love to hear just briefly from you, and then just kind of like a little bit of who you are and what you're wanting, like what you're sensing in the collective. Like it might be, I think it would be good to speak to what you were talking about the doing enough for ascension. If you're comfortable with doing that for the other people who might listen to this later. And then Shannon, I would love for you to just, because you guys, I'm kind of running this call, but I took over leadership. It was this call originally was a message from the angels for Shannon, and she reached out to myself and another woman, Sandy, and we said, yeah, let's start a call, let's gather. So, so John, I would love for you to share, and then Shannon, I would love for you to share about the creation of this call, and then whatever, like maybe there's something that you're sensing that we should work on, because at some point before the call ends, we will combine our energy and do some work in partnership. So
okay, well, thank you. Yeah, I'll try to make this relatively brief. First of all, it's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to see some familiar faces, and hello to people I haven't met before. Yeah, so I guess relatively new to the spiritual work. You know, my awakening is really unfolded over the last 5 years out of crisis, this dealing with severe anxiety, you know, a severe midlife crisis. And then it's really accelerated the last 2 years, opening up and kind of like the scales have fallen from my eyes to seeing how the world works. And I've done a lot of, a big part of my healing has been plant medicine. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm very aware. And there's a disconnect between what I know and my egoic mind. And so I think what we were just talking about around, well, first accepting that there is light and dark, and always, most of my life, always just wanted to focus on the light and not even acknowledge the dark. And then the last couple of years getting really caught up in the outrage about what the dark side is doing. And then coming to this realization, like you talked about, that it's all there to serve us. You know, the divine holds both the light and the dark, and it's you know, what we you know, shuns us back. What we, you know, like this can't be solved in a battle in the traditional sense. And so, yeah, it's, for me, it's learning to, I'm aware that the world is, you know, we're having a timeline split. You know, that there are these two earths that are emerging, and the higher vibrational earth. And so I'm aware of this. And I follow lots of different people a handful of, I don't say lots, a handful of different people that resonate with me that are channeling, and so it feels like it's happening. Like this is not something far off. Like this is happening now, and so I get caught up in the I don't want to miss that. I mean, as Milena was saying, like, I don't want to miss that bus. Like, to me, the worst thing would be like if I was totally ignorant and in the matrix and I had no idea, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it just, like, I didn't even know there was a bus, right? The worst thing is knowing that there's a bus to come pick you up and there's no room on the bus, or, you don't have your bus pass, right? Like, I would hate that. Like, that's my fear. And it's like, well,
No bus for you.
my mind, yeah. So my mind plays these games around, oh, you should have meditated deeper. It's like, I just, so I am aware, very aware, and yet I can also I feel caught between worlds, I guess, is where I'm at right now. And I've let go of, materials needing, mostly. And I'm really calling what I've noticed over the last few years about my purpose, and really in the last week, is have a gift of supporting people who are doing the work and who are big transformational leaders. Like, I see myself as a leader, but I also see myself primarily supporting people who, and holding space, and interestingly for women who are here to really help heal the planet. And that's where I feel like it keeps showing up, just keeps showing up. So all right, so that's where I'll just end there, but that's my story.
Thank you. Gosh, there was something that you just said, and oh, yes. So that is definitely a conversation that has come up in the collective, is when we're spending so much of our time, that's not the right word, like when so much of what we do is in these higher dimensional states. And then we've got the 3D where we got to fucking do laundry and dishes and whatever, and like deal with, people and whatever else. Our car needs new tires, like the humanness of it, the 3D, and then all the other. And it's like, how do we, like, that is definitely a part of the collective consciousness right now. That is part of the ascension, is how do we bridge these two when we're not fully there yet and we're still here. And also honoring, like, so Steve Nobel, I'm a huge follower of his, and that was who that clearing meditation that I did yesterday, when I did the Hape Live. But he has been instrumental for me in learning how to invite in the angels and archangels and like all of that. So I've probably really helped increase his following, because I recommend him to everybody. And he was saying, like, we can't forget that we're still in this physical vessel, and this physical vessel has needs, right? Like, we still need to care for this right now. And so there are things that are coming up in our physical bodies, in our vessels, that are wanting our attention. But the difference is that we can call on these higher realms, these, our celestial partners in this healing of the physical vessel. And that's part of how we merge the two. And and then we get in community and we be in conversation about it. Like that's a big part of it too, is you know, spaces like this and spaces like the container that Jamie has, where it's like we can talk about this stuff, you know, with others who they don't find it weird when you say like, yeah, I took it, you know, I went on a journey to Mars last night and this is this is what I learned. And so anyway, so Shannon just messaged that she has to be off at 12. So I want to really give her the floor right now. Yeah, so this is Shannon. And she,
Hello, everybody. You know, first and foremost, I do want to recognize Julie for all that she does. I mean, she has taken over this call. I mean, it was my calling a while ago to do this, and I am pulled in 50 different directions, and I'm so grateful to her for taking over this call, because without her, this would not have continued. So I appreciate everything you do. So I would definitely want to say that, because I come up with these ideas, I come up with things, and it wasn't just me, it was all of us together. But I come up with them, and then sometimes it's like, okay, well, now that we've done that, we need to do this. And so I have so many other assignments and things they want me to do that it feels so great to have an amazing team, amazing people that stand with me and walk, you know, before me and hold my hand, but also, you know, help me in the vision. And so I appreciate you so much for that. So how this call came about was actually a long time ago, because I'm being told to tell this story too. Several years ago, I was working on somebody, and I noticed in the back of their neck, I noticed this blob-like energy, and we called it the flap. So it was this energy that was being placed over people, the back part of their neck, which is, you know, our psychic center, right? It's our weakest point of our energy. And there was this blob-like energy, and so I was told that I needed to let healers know this, because this was widespread, and just about every single person in the world had one of these. Now, what it was doing, it was receiving information, but it was receiving malevolent information. So it was actually, before all this whole 2020 started and all the crap that started, it was actually priming people for negative energy. It was priming them for fear and destruction and dissonance and disease and all of those things. And so the message was to gather as many people as we could, as many healers as we could, to clear that energy. And we were pretty successful in clearing we called it the flap. And so then about a year later, after we did that call, we actually had, I think, what was it, the biggest Zoom call that I think I've ever seen. I mean, there were so many people on that call. It was just amazing. And then we had done it several times after that to kind of give instruction on how to release the flap and all that. So after we did that, I was noticing all of the craziness that was happening, and the angels kept telling me that we were being distracted from our path, that all of this, I call it 3D sludge, all of this 3D sludge that was happening is creating a distraction. And in kind of in the same time frame, they were letting me know that those who are familiar with the 12 light workers, that because of the shift in energy and because of the shift in frequency, that a 13th light worker was coming on. And this 13th would be the hub of all of the 12 light workers. So what they could do essentially is ignite all of the other abilities in the other light workers. So it was like a master of all, but not really. They were kind of like a catalyst, let's call it a catalyst, to creating more and more abilities and creating more and more change inside the hub of the 12 light workers. And just briefly, I just discovered this actually with Brittany. We discovered this, that the 12 or the 13 now, the 13 is not only in the human race, that it goes across all races, all species, everything. So there's these pods, different pods of 13 light workers. And these pods are actually raising the frequency of the earth and helping with, I want to call it the ascension, but that word is used so much. Essentially what we're doing is we are tapping into our fullest potential. And we're being given the energy to see the bigger picture and be able to use more of our abilities here in this incarnation than we have in a long time. And so we're being given a lot more freedom and a lot more push to create that. So the angels came to me and they said, you need to create a pod. You need to create a pod of 13. And so that was how we started, was to create that pod so that we could all become part of this bigger picture energy to help people shift what was happening in the world. And also I'm being reminded, Gabriel said, don't forget to tell them about the timeline. So there's just so much information, but at the same time, there's all of these timelines that are coming in that are working to shift some of the negative energy that's been happening. And so the angels had asked that the 13 or that our group begin to clear some of the debris and some of the old energy that was in the way of the timeline, so that the timeline could come in smooth and clean, and then we can begin to shift and transfer and adjust anything that needed to be adjusted once that timeline came in. So that's how all of it came about, and we've been doing this for a year, and I feel like we have just created so much change, and we have done, I mean, we've actually literally felt the time shift. And there were times that, you know, you have that moment of the wah, which people know who do plant medicine, you get that moment of your brain just goes, wah. And so we've actually felt that, like we've felt the ripple, and we've seen the shifts and we've seen the changes. And so I want to make this group as big as we can. And thanks to Jules, you know, it's happening. Like we have more people coming on. And I'm going to give her 1,000% of the credit because, I mean, it's because of her we're continuing this. And so I'm grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot about the flap, but that is how it started. And moving the earthquake. We moved an earthquake.
An
So that it
8.4
had-
earthquake, by the way.
Say again?
An 8.4
Yeah.
magnitude.
We moved it so in partnership with Mama Gaia. So she had to release, but we moved it so that it was there was less catastrophe around it. So we've got just 13 minutes left. But it felt really important for us to have the conversation that we had. So I'm wondering, Cynthia, are you somewhere where you can speak? You're a passenger, yes?
Yeah, I am. I'm in the back seat of the car. Myself and two other light workers were called to go to Mount Shasta.
Oh, right on.
And we had some amazing experiences. So we opened up a portal and helped transition over a group of indigenous people, met some new inner earth, and this is all in the etheric, met a couple of new inner earth characters, as it were.
My God, lady.
I know.
This was really interesting.
Right.
In conjunction with the Galactics, we worked specifically, this was really interesting. So there's a problem with fungus among the trees, right? So we worked on the trees and on clearing the fungus, and we opened a portal between, I guess, what you would call the Fey realm and here, and connected two trees. And it was all part of a healing to bring in the frequencies of the original blueprint design for the fungus, for the trees, et cetera, et cetera. We did a lot of water work, a lot of elementals. So we were called to come up and do healing, and that's what we did. It's been really great. Yeah. So we're on our way back.
So I was thank you for all of that. So for those of you that are new, it's like Cynthia's really just stepped into her this full potential, full expression, like in the last year, let's say. And it's like
Yeah.
it happened with such velocity that once you say yes to fully, like, okay, yes, I'm in to be all of it. Tsunami work, yes. Yeah. So maybe that's do we have the space to do that today? So Cynthia, if you would be willing, I would love for you to guide our energy together to that connection that was made with the water, with the elementals, with the Fae, with Mama Gaia. I see some dragons going around. And connect us with this to reinforce what was done, and then also direct that towards tsunami.
Oh, to the preventing of a tsunami, is that correct? This, who got
Or
that?
moving it, or
We
maybe not
got this
preventing it,
2
but
weeks
like
ago.
decreasing it.
We got, when did we get that message about the tsunami? That was a month ago, wasn't it? We got a warning about a tsunami a month ago and ended up doing a whole bunch of work specifically like between the Gulf of Mexico and off of the West Coast, and ended up connecting some crystals deep in the ocean and doing some chakra balancing for the planet, specifically to avoid this a major tsunami that was supposed to take place. So that's who brought that up?
Milena did.
Can she talk to that? What her concern or source is?
Sure. And I want to acknowledge, like we do, so this might not be that we have the space to like really give energy to it, but I just feeling like while we're connected here, let's send some energy out. But go ahead, and if you want to just like briefly speak to that, Milena, and then Cynthia, I would like you to lead us in connecting with those energies and then sending it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
So while Gaia is in rest currently, I've been getting a lot of strong waves of when she comes back online, the energy is going to hit very strong. There's a tsunami that's going to be building up when she comes back online. So
are you talking more energetically, or are you talking like?
No, earthly.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's interesting.
I also, about a month ago, I was getting the big waves of the tsunami as well, but it was to my understanding that it has not actually come into the tectonic plates and all of that are adjusting, that it's actually right now building up while Gaia is in rest.
So then she needs, okay, then we need a buffer then.
Mm-hmm.
We need to buffer the release on the energy. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's like with when we moved to the earthquake, it was like Mama Gaia needs to have this release, but where can it go? That's like.
You can think about this as actually her water breaking.
Yeah.
That's how much energy is coming through.
Yeah. That's a good metaphor.
What if we created a vortex? What if we created either a vortex or some sort of black hole energy, just temporary enough to like a vacuum out this energy? And black hole's the wrong term. To vacuum out the energy so that she can release it, but it doesn't impact the inhabitants here in this earth.
Or that
Yeah,
there's
that's perfect.
minimal impact, because for some people they have to it's their experience right now to experience the impact, and it's kind of what they signed up for, but we might be able to lessen it.
Okay, very good. Well, let's go ahead and let's breathe into our hearts. Everything begins with the heart. Open the heart, and specifically open the heart to the violet flame. Breathe deeply in and feel that violet flame fill your heart, extend out completely into your auric field. As you breathe it in, let it soak into every aspect of all of your bodies, your physical, your etheric, your mental, emotional, spiritual, every body. As you take these breaths, the violet flame in all of its hues simply expands in, around, and through you. And imagine a gold light from your heart moving completely through your body, deep, deep down into Mother Earth, deep into her heart. And in that heart, you see every crystal imaginable. And these crystals carry specific frequencies that call to you because you and Gaia are connected, deeply connected. So let this crystalline energy move through you. Let it move back up through you, up through your heart, in through the gold light, connecting you directly to Source. As above, so below. Prime Creator running through you directly into Mother Earth flowing her energy back up through you, up to Source. You are the connection point for the healing, this toroidal energy. Okay, and let's call in protection from Metatron 15D, the shield of protection. I'm calling Christ Jesus to move forward as well, to protect each and every one of us in our homes, to let the white light of Christ energy move through every physical aspect of where we are, floors, walls, ceilings, through our bones, through our bodies, through our blood, connecting us even deeper to Source itself. Now that we are connected, we call in all of our ascended masters. I specifically call in Kuan Yin. We call upon all archangels, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Sandoval, and of course Metatron. And we ask that Metatron bring in all of Metatron's golden angels directly from Source for this. I call dragons, the white dragon, blue, the green, the red, the yellow, as well as the gold.
And the purple. Uh-oh.
And we invite you into the circle of consciousness and ask here and now that Metatron open up a portal. Sorry, guys, got an energy hit. Open up a portal directly to the Fae Kingdom. And I ask that the Elfin Queen step forward. She says, "Thank you for bringing your consciousness. How can we be of assistance?" And Julie, I'm going to let you ask for the assistance from the Fae Kingdom, what we need here and now from Mother Earth.
Mother Earth, I ask, Mama Gaia, I ask for your compassionate heart while you are at rest. The comfort of rest that we as a collective feel your nourishment, feel your cuddles. That's the word that came up. Your cuddles. And feel your strength. The strength of your love. Knowing that we are all your children. We ask for partnership in navigating these huge spikes in energy, shifts in energy, that we stay true to ourselves as multidimensional beings, as light creations, as expressions of Source. That we always remember love is who we are. It's where we came from. It's all there is.
Beautiful. And in this,
sorry, the last part is on behalf of the I Am Collective. In the last minute, I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I am spirit. I am Source. I am love. I am. And I'm complete.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have an energy exchange going between where we are physically in 3D and the inner realms. And here's the deal, the energy from one to the other affects the other. And so I'm going to ask that all present within the inner earth of the highest vibration step forward. And I'm going to ask that each of you speak within our ear and give us the knowing of how we can be of sacred service to Mother Earth at this time, above and beyond what happens on this call today. So I'm asking that these frequencies of original divine blueprint be sent to everybody who is connected on this call today, so that they may disseminate them wherever they go. And these are the frequencies that help restore Mother Earth's center of gravity, as it were. Now I'm going to ask Metatron to open up a vortex. And this is the instruction for the vortex, that as magnificent energies of transformation come through, that as they express themselves in need to expand, that they be taken up directly back to source itself. If the release of this energy would result in any sort of tectonic movement or any other catastrophic movement, we ask that this energy move through the collective easily and effortlessly, and be taken directly up into this vortex directly to source, to the cycle, that it may be used to create something new again. Shannon, do you have anything to add?
Shannon had to hop off the call at noon, and some of us.
Oh, that's right. She's not there.
Hop to a class.
Okay, then
So
I'm feeling complete.
okay,
All right.
check in.
With that, then I'll ask that we separate our energies, knowing that the energy that has been shared today from inner earth to all of us in 3D stays with us, and that we become transmitters of this energy as well. We thank everybody present here, both in 3D form and all of our teams and guides as well. We thank you, we honor you, we love you. I am complete. All is well.
All is well indeed. And with that, I feel like the call is complete. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
To be continued next week, we will dive deeper into the 12 and the 13. That was what we were gonna talk about today, and it just felt like this needed to happen the way that it happened today. So thank you.
Beautiful.
And, thank you for joining us, new friends, and we hope you'll come back, and blessed be.
Blessed be.
Namaste.